What if Putin launches a nuclear missile? Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, threatened to deploy a nuclear bomb after a string of defeats on the battlefield in eastern Ukraine. In a nationally televised speech on Wednesday, he declared, "We will without a doubt employ all possible means to preserve Russia and our people if the territorial integrity of our country is challenged. This isn't a bluff, either." Putin has frequently emphasized that Moscow has the greatest nuclear arsenal in the world ever since he gave the order to invade Ukraine on February 24. He has staged high-profile nuclear drills, declared Russia's nuclear forces to be in special war readiness, and made subliminal threats to use a nuclear bomb if any country stands in the way of his attempt to destabilize the government in Kiev. Putin also appeared to be extending Russian nuclear doctrine, which previously stated that nuclear weapons would only be used in the event of an existential threat, to include threats to territorial integrity. This is particularly concerning given that the territory in question is under dispute by Ukraine and that it appears to be changing. In this video, we'll discuss if Putin launched a missile attack and how it would impact the Earth. Environment threat of nuclear missiles. A missile attack would use a mix of explosion, heat, and radioactive radiation to kill wildlife and decimate the flora across a vast region. Wildfires may potentially widen the area immediately destroyed. Nuclear bombs are the most deadly, brutal, and indiscriminate weapons ever made. They differ from other weapons in their scope of destruction, as well as their distinctively persistent, spreading, genetically harmful radioactive fallout. Millions of people may perish if a single nuclear weapon explodes over a sizable metropolis. Using many atomic weapons might alter the environment, leading to widespread hunger. How historical nuclear attacks became the cause of climate change. Due to agricultural failures brought on by droughts and storms and flooding brought on by extreme weather, climate change is a factor in geopolitical conflicts worldwide. War and the use of nuclear weapons are now more likely. The relationship between climate change and global security and conflict has been studied for more than 20 years, including research on how population increase, water shortages, and agricultural production stress lead to war. Let's go over the incidents that have led to wars and climate change. Civil war in Syria. According to researchers, the extreme drought that occurred in Syria between 2006 and 2009 was most certainly brought on by climate change. Due to widespread crop failures brought on by the drought, 1.5 million people moved from rural to urban regions. The violent revolt that started in 2011 and ultimately resulted in military involvement by the nuclear powers of the US and Russia was influenced by the resulting socioeconomic strains. Increased tensions between Pakistan and India. In the nuclear-armed nations of India and Pakistan, the need for water has increased due to a changing climate and a growing population. Because Kashmir provides access to rivers that flow from India to Pakistan, both countries seek to dominate it. Plans to construct dams in Kashmir, which would impair Pakistan's water supplies, have been accelerated by India. India has threatened to break its commitment to the Indus Water Treaty, which Pakistan would view as a declaration of war. Climate change would result from a limited nuclear war. New computer simulations have shown how nuclear war will affect the global climate. 20 million people would perish in the first week of a limited or regional nuclear war using 100 nuclear bombs, each from Pakistan and India, or around 0.03% of the world's nuclear arsenal. Firestorms would break out, spewing enormous volumes of smoke into the high atmosphere, blocking the sun, cooling the planet, and decreasing precipitation for at least 10 years. Massive ozone loss would increase the amount of UV light that reaches the Earth's surface. Up to 2 billion people would be hungry due to this climatic disturbance, resulting in a sharp reduction in corn, wheat, rice, and soybean output. Ice age temperatures would result in a full-scale nuclear conflict. There would be billions of victims in a full-scale nuclear conflict using just 1/3 of all nuclear warheads held by the United States and Russia, the launch-ready arsenal. But the disturbance of the climate would have the most terrible and long-lasting effects. The global temperature decline would be comparable to that of the most recent major ice age. Agriculture would be destroyed. depletion of the stratospheric ozone layer would occur. Source: humans would be at risk, and other radiosensitive creatures, including other animals, birds, and higher plants like pine and spruce trees. Radioactive isotopes poison the whole planet, such as the 24,400-year half-life plutonium-239. Why missile launching is not a good idea for all of us. Suppose we don't control the use of nuclear weapons. In that case, tens of millions of people will die, global temperatures will fall, and most of the planet will be unable to cultivate food for more than 5 years following a battle, according to the research. In addition, the ozone layer, which shields the Earth's surface from dangerous UV radiation, would lose up to 70% of its thickness at the poles and by 40% over many populated regions. The study's co-author, Alan Robach, told Guardian Unlimited that nuclear weapons, rather than global warming or ozone depletion, pose the biggest environmental threat to the globe from humans. There are around 30,000 nuclear weapons, and the US and Russia control 95% of them. Furthermore, there is enough raw nuclear material to create an additional 100,000 warheads. The findings suggested that the most crowded nations fare the worst during nuclear exchanges. An assault on the UK would result in about 3 million direct deaths, compared to 12 and 9 million deaths in India and Pakistan, respectively. In the UK, a single nuclear explosion in a large city would kill more than 125,000 people and injure another 100,000. That brings us to the end of this video. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our future updates. Thank you for watching.